What's good, everyone? Welcome to Keeping It Cool, the podcast where we talk about all things animation and other pieces of media. I'm your host, Alexander, aka The Air Conditioner. I make cartoons and talk about cartoons. So, grab some snacks, grab some drinks, and we'll begin the episode. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the third episode of Keeping It Cool with your host, The Air Conditioner. It's been a while since I made a podcast episode. About a month, I think. Let me check. Yeah, because I did the episode of regular show The Lost Tapes. So yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, it's out now on HBO Max, so you can watch that. In fact, they actually have new episodes like every Monday, so that's cool. Yeah, it was like 3 weeks ago since I made that episode, and it had like 132 views so far. It's not bad. Alright. I'm a little tired. It's like 7 in the morning. So. And I went to sleep at like, 12? So, yeah. So. In this episode, we will talk about a popular franchise that's been around lately, which is the Amazing Digital Circus, created by Glitch Studios and Gooseworks, which is one of the most popular indie animated series that's been going on since like 2023 and has been gaining a big fan base ever since. So yeah, I thought we could talk about that. Yeah, I thought we could talk about that because what's it called? Like they pretty much ended the series. Well, the creator did, which is honestly fair because like its fandom hasn't had the best reputation, so it makes sense why they had to do this. So first, I will give a short summary of what the Amazing Digital Circus is, what its production was, and how it got popular in the first place. So to do that, I will read through an interview from the actual creators. So let's see here. The pilot of Glitch Productions' new animated series, The Amazing Digital Circus, was released on YouTube on October 13th and has since racked up more than 200 million views, inspiring a dedicated fandom. So far, the pilot is the only official episode of The Amazing Digital Circus, but the show has already embedded itself into the fabric of the internet, with fan favorites such as Kane, Bubble, Pomni, and Jax have invaded YouTube, Instagram, and Roblox, with the hashtag The Amazing Digital Circus, boasting more than 3.3 billion views on TikTok. Series creator Gooseworks, Glitch Productions CEO Kevin Lerdwickagel, I don't know how to say that, and lead animator Kevin Temmer talked to me about the creation of their viral hit, the current state of indie animation, and where the Amazing Digital Circus goes from here. Yeah, so the thing about this is that this is like it's an indie studio, so like, you know, it's the fact that it got super popular in a span of like 3 years, not even like the first year, so yeah. But yeah, like when you look at the article right here, you can see like a screenshot of like I guess an early build of like what the show would look like. See, I'm looking at this right now. So we have like Pomni, Kane, and Jax, right? Those characters, and they look very primitive. It's like one of those like old, like one of those like old Pixar short films. Kind of looks like that. Okay, so let's go down. So this is just an interview from like the actual like creators. So let's see. So this is by the CEO of Glitch Productions. We flirted with the idea of streaming for a while, but eventually decided against it. One of the main reasons against it is to make sure our creators can maintain creative control of the show. Yeah, that is fair. I mean, that is the reason why a lot of people start off on YouTube. That way they can just have control of what their series or whatever their content is. Which, yeah, that's fair. We genuinely feel that the creator is the beating heart of their show, and through their unaltered vision, we get insanely fun concepts like Digital Circus. Again, another fair point. It didn't take long for content creators to start churning out Amazing Digital Circus content. How did the team feel about the show taking on a life of its own? So here's how they describe it. They say that the funny thing is about the internet is it's just one big cocktail of people making content from existing things. We grew up watching funny video game parodies on the internet and eventually started making them ourselves, which became the stepping stones to launch Glitch. I think creativity with actual effort and integrity is creativity, whatever form it takes. Nice. And the person asks if there are any concerns regarding copyright violations. They say that they're not, and that people can tell when something by the creator is. People can tell when something is by the creator and when something is fan made. Unfortunately, that's not really the case all the time. Like it is pretty difficult to tell the difference. The content machine itself is a mixed bag, lots of good stuff, but also a lot of not so good stuff. That is honestly fair. It goes on like this for a while. You can read this on your own if you want. I'm just going through like some of its like responses. But yeah, the Amazing Digital Circus is one of the most popular indie franchises. Franchise? Well, it's more of a series right now. Well, I guess it's also a franchise. But yeah, it started out in 2023 as a pilot on YouTube, and ever since then, it became super popular among the internet and among fans. And it is one of Glitch Productions' most popular series so far. But yeah, it's got very successful, and honestly, I think it deserves it. Like, the show is very unique, to say the least. Like, it's creative, it's unhinged, it's a lot of things, but I think that's why people like it, because like it's like something that we've never really seen before. You know, it's like something like revolutionary, I believe. I don't know. Like, there's a few other reasons why other people like it. You know, whether it's, I don't know. I guess some people like it for the wrong reasons, but then some just like it because of what it is. So yeah. But why do I like it? I liked it because it's unhinged, and it is very creative of like the way it's written and the way like they write the characters, and like the character designs are very like diverse and unique. You know, like you could say that the show is supposed to resemble like a late 90s or early 2000s CGI animation style. That's kind of what it's supposed to like replicate. But yeah, it is honestly pretty nice. Like, yeah. I think what I like about it is that it also isn't afraid to be serious when it really needs to. Like, because here's the thing, like, there are some parts in each episode where they actually like become serious for a sec, like with the characters. You know, like each episode actually focuses on a certain character. You know, like Pomni, or Jax, or Ragatha, or Gangle, or Zubul, or Kinger, and just everyone. And I think what I like is that it just takes itself seriously, and like I think the pacing of these certain scenes really like emphasize that. So yeah. So let's see. I have like a list of prompts that I'm gonna read out. Let's see. But yeah, the show has been around for like a good 3 years until its last episode, which apparently was in theaters. I don't know how they managed to do that, but they did. And of course, I went to watch it with some friends. So let's talk about that. So let me remember. So So we watched the last episode, which was called the Amazing Digital Circus: The Last Act. So yeah, I watched it with some friends. We watched it like later in the night. And by later in the night, I mean like 8:30 p.m. But yeah, we also watched it because we had a friend who was graduating on the same day. So that was kind of like their graduation gift for us just showing up. But yeah, it was nice. Like I mean, originally I did want to watch this with some friends, and I'm glad that we did. So yeah. So let's see. I might spoil some things, so just be aware. Yeah. So the reason why it's a movie is because it begins with like episode 8, and then it goes to like episode 9, which is like the new episode, I guess. Despite this, the episodes are gonna be out like next week, I think. But even then, it's still nice that they had this in theaters. Like, I think this was intended to be in a theater. Like, it's one of those things where it's like it makes sense, because this would happen in like a big event. I mean, it makes sense, right? It does. So let's see. But yeah, I'm gonna like spoil some stuff. So let's see. So episode 7 was the beach episode. In that episode, it was kind of like on some serious stuff. So the entire point of the show is that the digital circus is basically like a sort of like a virtual world created by Kane, right? Kane is like the ringmaster and sort of like the one in charge of everything. We find out that he is actually an AI, not an NPC or even like a person. He's an AI that's created the circus and everything around it. And each character that we've seen is actually a person, not like an NPC. Like, you know, like Pomni, Ragatha, Jax, Zubul, Kinger, Gangle, like every one of those was a real person. I didn't know this actually, because I thought that Pomni was the only like actual person, because she had a headset on and like that's like the virtual world that she's in. But apparently, I found this out in like episode 5, where apparently they were all real people with real lives. You know, like Zubul was like a bartender. Gangle was like a manga artist and worked at like a fast food place, as we've known before. And let's see, try to remember. But yeah, anyways, the entire point of the show is that they're trying to escape the circus, because like, you know, they're real people. They were like stuck in this like sort of matrix, and they're trying to find a way to escape the circus. It's kind of like a backrooms situation. I don't know. But yeah. So in episode 7, they find this NPC, who apparently said that he was one of the creators of Kane, I think. Yeah. And so this NPC, or one of the creators, was gonna help everyone find a way out of the circus. But they had to distract Kane for a while, and doing that, they had to like find this secret room, and they eventually did. But it turns out that it was all a ruse. It was never real. Yeah, apparently the NPC was obviously, well, he was in on it. Yeah, Kane did everything. He tricked them into thinking that there was a way out. And yeah, it was pretty bad. And so episode 8, it's like, oh, let's see what happens next. It's funny because like every episode, it's like it ends on a cliffhanger. So I'm like, wait, what? Like it always ends with me like, it always leaves me with like asking like questions. I'm like, wait, what happened? Like, why did this, like, what's gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one of those things where it makes you like question a lot of things. But yeah, so let's see. Trying to remember what happened in the movie. So yeah, they were still trying to find a way out of this place. So yeah. So here's what happened. They're trying to find a way out still. Trying to remember. So let's talk about Kinger. Kinger is like, you know, like the chess piece character. So something about Kinger apparently is that when he's like in a dark area, he's like more, I guess, more sane. You know, it's kind of like he has like a split personality thing where it's like when he's exposed to light, he's just this goofy character, but when he's like in the dark, he actually like has his like consciousness. We learned this in like the mansion episode with where him and Palmy tried to escape like this room, and then he was actually like being sane for a bit. But yeah, we did learn some stuff about Kinger. He was actually he was a person. He apparently had a wife before all this. And we found out in this episode that apparently he was one of the creators of Kane. So he knows everything about like the program that they've made, and obviously he helps everyone try to I guess delete Kane. So they distract them for a bit, and then Kinger just does his thing, goes to like a computer and tries to like delete the program. But instead he accidentally kills Kane, you know, the AI, and without Kane there's no circus, so everything just starts crumbling, and everything is just like sorry, trying to collect myself. But yeah, it just ends up with like the entire circus being like destroyed, and everyone is just shocked. So yeah. Then they try to find a way out still. Jax is just done with everything. Yeah. You know, it kind of sucks because like I did like Jax. Like he was actually my favorite character when the show started out. But apparently everyone started hating him, and honestly it kind of makes sense because of the way he just acts around everybody. Especially in like the episode where they like use guns, because like at that time, you know, he and Pomni were actually like having fun with this, and I did like that one actually. But the thing is, like after they were like cool with each other, Jax was like, "Oh, just kidding, this was never real." Like, it's like, dude, you can't just do something and then be like, "Nope, this was never real, never happened." Because the thing about Jax is that he thinks that none of this matters just because they're in like a simulation. Well, I mean, sure, but it's just your actions, I guess. That's what makes it real. But yeah, it was kind of sad. Meanwhile, everyone's trying to find a way to like escape the circus, or like somehow like, I don't know, like build a way out. I don't know. But here's where it gets juicy. We learn more about Jax, his backstory or whatever. So apparently Jax was one of the first people to show up in the circus, and he had two friends, very close friends, named Kaufmo and Ribbit. Remember those names. Kaufmo he actually was in the first episode, but then he got abstracted, which apparently when you abstract, it's basically like a crash out, where it's like you lose your insanity to the point where you just kind of like glitch out, and then you abstract. That's basically what happened to Kaufmo. And it kind of sucks because like when you go back to that, Jax was just okay with this. He just let everything happen the way it did, because you know it didn't really matter to him, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, so like Ribbit and Kaufmo were like the first people that he was close to when he first entered the circus. So the thing about this is that like he was very close to Ribbit, and it was nice. I did like this little like flashback sequence, and I did like that they focused on this like very long. It's like it was, well, obviously it was a crucial part of Jax's story, you know, like it made sense why they had to show this. And we can kind of see like how he progressed like along the series, I guess, or like along like the like his time being in the circus. But here's the thing though, like there's a part where like Jax and Ribbit are like in his room and they're just talking. Jax brings up his family, where apparently his parents got divorced when he was in like high school or whatever, like in his real life. And he talks about like some serious stuff between him and his parents, you know, how like his dad didn't think much about him, and then like when his parents got divorced, his mom wasn't the same, and at some point he and his mom got into a fight where he struck her and she was on the ground. So he talks about this with Ribbit for a bit, and yeah, it gets pretty serious for a bit. And so it just goes on like this for a while. And I think I did like this. I think this might be my favorite part of this movie, where it's like we learn more about Jax. We kind of see like why he is the way he is, and like the people that he's talked to before and the people that he, I guess, lost. So they start talking, and then we hear like Kaufmo knocking on the door. He's like, "Hey, are you guys in there?" and all that. So then Jax, he kind of forgets like any of this happened. He tells Ribbit like, "Hey, whatever happened here, it didn't happen." That's basically what he said. That's the thing about Jax. It's like the thing about him is that he is like, I guess, nervous to like be more open to people. That's like his flaw. It's like he doesn't like sharing his emotions towards people. Maybe it's because he doesn't know how to react in a situation like this. Or maybe it's because like, I think, here's the thing though. It's like, the thing about Jax is that he specifically acts this kind of way towards women, like the female characters, like Ribbit, like Pomni, Ragatha, and Gangle. And what happens later in the flashback is that he tries to distance himself from Ribbit, tries to go with like Kaufmo or Ragatha or whatever. And he tries to distance himself from Ribbit. And the thing is, he never really tells her why. He doesn't even like talk to her. And then they get into like this big argument, and yeah, it's just it really makes you like cringe or like say like, "Jax, why are you doing this? You should stop, like this isn't right," you know, like yeah. And then I guess eventually Ribbit abstracted as well, and that was the end of her story. And yeah, that's pretty sad. But yeah, like while everyone is like trying to find a way out of the circus, Jax just doesn't really care. He's just by himself. He's like in a corner. And then like a while later, he begins to abstract, which yeah, he doesn't get out of this, unfortunately. But you know what? Maybe he wanted this. Maybe he did. That's the thing. So yeah. But yeah, like it really makes you think of why Jax is the way he is towards these people. You know, like the way he was with Ribbit. Like, even though like they had like a strong connection, he goes back to saying like, "This never happened. This wasn't real." And that's that's an interesting parallel to with him and Pomni in the Guns episode, where they basically had the exact same interaction. Where he's like, this didn't happen, so why even bother? But then Pomni is like, no, this was real. Like, everything we did mattered, but he doesn't really care. And the interesting thing is that, like, when Pomni and Jax fight, like, she tries to, like, jump on him and, like, attack him and stuff. She's saying, like, why aren't you fighting back? Why aren't you fighting back? But here's the thing. Like, Jax doesn't hit back because he doesn't want the same thing to happen like what he did with his mom. Like, it's funny, like, I remember, like, after the movie, I was talking about this with some people, where it was like, why this is why he wanted to distance himself from Ribbit, because what I think is that he feared that he would eventually get into, like, this toxic relationship the same way that he was with his mom. You could say that he was trying to prevent that when he did the exact opposite, which is kind of sad. So yeah. So apparently Kane came back. Like, I don't know how. Like, even though he was deleted, he somehow appeared, and then he tried to, like, escape the. He tried going to, like, the void, which is, like, outside of the circus. He escapes there, and then he eventually finds, like, this database where he finds the actual identities of these characters. Like, apparently Pomni, her real name was Abigail. I forgot the rest of the other names for everybody else. But yeah, eventually Kane finds out about, like, their identities, and then he comes to the realization that maybe he was in the wrong. Like, he was saying how, like, how these are real people and they don't deserve what he has done to them. So once he has this sort of epiphany, he returns to the circus, and he confronts everybody, and he says that he wants to make things right. Now, obviously, they don't believe him after all the stuff that he's done to them. But then he shows in a slideshow of who these people were. And yeah, this was a big deal for everybody watching this. Like, it was a big deal. Like, this is what we wanted to know the whole time. Like, who were these people before, and, like, what do they look like? That was, like, the big reveal for us. And so yeah. But yeah. So Kane wants to make things right with everybody. Even though I think it was like he couldn't really let them out. Maybe he, like, physically couldn't, but he wanted to make this circus the way that they wanted to, make it comfortable for them. And so he did. Like, in the end, they stay, and then we have, like, a montage of, like, Kane doing stuff with everybody. It was actually kind of wholesome. I did like that. And so yeah, it ended with everybody staying in the circus, but this time they were happy. And so yeah, that's how the movie ended. Unfortunately, Jax didn't make it, but maybe it was for the best. Alright, I gotta say, I am a little iffy about the ending. Like, the entire point was that they were trying to escape the circus. So now you're telling me that they want to stay? Like, I was confused. Like, again, like, this ended with me, like, asking so many questions. I'm like, wait, I thought they're trying to do this. What happened to Jax? And, like, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I guess Gooseworks had to rush the ending, you know, because they wanted to finish the project. But still, it's just, I don't know. I mean, some people did like it. I mean, that's fair. But it's like, I don't know. I was just so confused at the end. I mean, after I had a friend tell me that apparently these weren't even, like, the actual people. Like, they were, like, copies that were, like, scanned from the brains of the actual people. Like, when they, so I think how it worked is that when they put on, like, the headset, it scanned their brain and then made, like, an NPC based off of that, like, data of the person. So, okay, that was like I don't know. To me, it was just a very unnecessary twist. Like, you can't just build up this entire like story and then be like, oh, never mind, they're just NPCs, or it's not even them. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we did get like a post credits of like the actual people like in a bus stop, and I mean, yeah, that was kind of cool. I did like that part. See, because here's the thing. I thought it was gonna end with them like leaving the circus, and then they were gonna like see each other in their real bodies, and then I don't know. I thought it was gonna end like that. That would have been nice, honestly. But this was good too. It was pretty nice. It did have a happy ending, sort of. So yeah. Okay, while I did like watching the Digital Circus finale, I feel like my friends liked it way more than I did. Like, bro, I gotta say, there were a lot of tears in the theater. Like, bro, like everyone around me was like in tears. Everyone was like shocked, especially like the Jackson Ribbit scene, which honestly fair. Like, I was just watching the whole thing. I had like an icy. I was just with my drink, just watching. Everyone was like, so many reactions, which I mean, that's fair. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I guess, I don't know, because like a lot of people were crying apparently when they watched it, except for me, and that feels weird to me. It's like, was I not watching it right? Like, was I supposed to be sad? Like, I was sad, but I wasn't like crying, it kind of goes back to like the first SpongeBob movie, where apparently that was like a sad scene when we saw SpongeBob and Patrick quote unquote die, like in Shell City. But I mean it wasn't really like, okay, it was sad, but like I didn't cry as a kid, so it kind of goes back to that. Okay, I may not have cried at the finale, but I guess you could say I cried inside. That's something. I mean, to me, it would just be weird to do that in public, especially if you have people like watching you. But that's just me personally. So, alright, so I still have the prompts that I mentioned earlier for this episode. So let's see. Okay, so here are the questions that I wrote for myself. That I can like talk about. So let's see. First question is, what were your thoughts of the show when it first started out? Well, okay, so like I said before, I watched this back in 2023 when it first was on YouTube, and it still is. I thought it was pretty unique. What I noticed most about this was the animation is very like fluid and like mesmerizing. It's like, the whole time I'm thinking like, damn, what is this budget? Like what software is this? Like, damn. Like, it was like, what, 10 minutes? But still, it was really amazing, I guess you might say. I mean, I didn't think too much of it, because like it was Glitch Productions, and I mean, like around the time they had shows such as like Murder Drones and let me see, I gotta Google this. Glitch Production shows in 2023. Yeah, because like, Murder Drones was a thing. I didn't think too much of that show. I mean, I don't know, that's another fandom of its own, unfortunately. What else do they have? Oh yeah, they have Lackadaisy? Is that a Glitch Productions show? I think it is. And Has-Been Hotel? No, Hell of a Boss. That's what it is. Wow, that is interesting. Though I could be wrong, so correct me in the comments. But yeah, like what I worried about this show, I thought it was gonna be like one of those like content farms, and honestly, so did everybody else. Because like, yeah, the fandom wasn't always the best, and it still kind of isn't. In fact, that's kind of the reason why it ended. But like, I mean, it proved me wrong, because like, sure, this is like it's content, but like they're also trying to like take itself seriously, like it's trying to differentiate itself, you might say. And so because of that, it was able to stay relevant for this long. So yeah. What do you like most about the show? I feel like what makes any show good is its characters and writing. And this show does those two things perfectly. The way they write the characters and like put them in these like situations, I guess, like the way they write the characters, it seems very realistic, which makes sense because like they are real people. So even though it is a cartoon, that doesn't mean that they can't be real. That's the thing. And like we always see like these character interaction between certain like characters, like between like Jax and Zubul, for example. And then there's like Pomni and Ragatha, and Gangle and Kinger, and so on. And it's like, I think they do it very well, honestly. So yeah. My other favorite thing would be the animation, obviously, because like I said before, it's very fluid, very like squash and stretch. It's like I think it really like expresses the characters very well. Well, I mean, it makes sense. It's a cartoon. But yeah, that's my stance. Next question is, what is my favorite episode? There are actually a few that I do like. Let's see. I like the one, like episode 4, I think. That's the one where they go to Spudsy's. I like that one because it was just something simple. Because, like, I think in that episode, they all wanted to do something like just like not life threatening or whatever. They just work at like a McDonald's. But it was interesting just putting these characters in a situation where like it seems just like real to, well, like what's it called, like something close to real life. Like, it's like, what would happen if these characters worked at like a McDonald's or a Best Buy or like a Target, But I think they did it well as well in this episode. I also like the one after. I forget what it's called. Let me see. Do I have to Google the episode names? It's kind of sad. Let's see. It was episode 5. It's called Untitled. But it's the one where it's like, I mean, you could say it's kind of like a filler episode where they just do whatever. And it's funny, I had a friend talk about this with me. He said that this might be his favorite episode too, because like even though it is a filler episode, this is what he told me. He told me that like it's good to have a filler episode, especially when like so much stuff happened before. In a way, a filler episode is supposed to like, I guess, like give us a break after what's happened before. And he's got a point, it makes sense, because like we've already had like so much crazy stuff happen before, so we might as well have something, I guess, normal or different. And yeah, I think he was right about this. So yeah, and even then we still get like some details of the character. This is where we found out about like how, like, who these people were, and it even kind of foreshadows about Jax's previous friends. So yeah. And I do like the one where they have guns. It's pretty funny. Yeah. It was just, oh, let's give them guns. That's literally the name of the episode. But I like that one because of like Pomni and Jax's like dynamic. Like it's really funny there, and I like that Pomni is trying to like be different for a change. She's trying to be like evil Pomni, which I think is adorable. But yeah, it was a pretty funny episode. So next question: what are your thoughts on the last act? Well, everyone thought it was peak cinema. I mean, that's fair. I mean, okay, I do like the last act. There are some strong moments, like the Jax backstory. And the part where like Kane found out who everybody was in the real world, that was nice. Although the ending could be anybody's opinion, including mine, for what they could work with, for what it was worth, I think the ending was decent. It was probably like the only way to end the series, I guess. I mean, okay, for all we know, they might bring it back in some way, and if they do, then maybe they'll do it better, I guess. I don't know. But that's just me. The next question is, can the digital circus be enjoyed by anyone? I feel like it can, theoretically. No, like, okay, anyone can enjoy this, but at the same time, I feel like you have to be a certain person to like fully enjoy this. Like, I don't want to call anyone out here, but it's like you have to be like that kind of person. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it would explain why the fandom is the way it is, because it's like those kind of people who do like it, like whether or not they are still fans, and they might like the show for all the wrong reasons, but nevertheless they are still fans in some way. So yeah. Speaking of which, next question is, does the series deserve its fandom? Unfortunately it doesn't. Like, there are some good apples in the fandom, but it's kind of sad when like a franchise is destroyed by its own fandom. And I mean, there are a lot of other bad fandoms out there. The Sonic fandom, the Star Wars fandom, I guess you could say that. What else? Well, there's the Loud House fandom, the Pokemon fandom, I guess. Even Bluey, one of the most wholesome kids shows in the world, like one of those wholesome modern kids shows, had one of the worst fandoms. Think about that for a moment. But yeah, there are a lot of bad fandoms out there, and this is one of them, unfortunately. I mean, the real question is, can they be better? Like, could these people, like, can a fandom improve? That might be the real question. Can a fandom right their wrongs and improve? Maybe even be one of the best fandoms. Next question, and this is the final question. Should the digital circus be brought back? And what I mean by this is, should it be like should the show be brought back? See, this is the thing. It's like, it ended, and I'm like, wait, I kind of missed this actually. Like, well, I mean, we have the episodes. You could just rewatch those, I guess. I mean, what's cool is that you could still meet like the people who worked on the show, like the voice actors and the animators and all those people. I mean, it's an indie studio, so it's gonna be like people who are really passionate about what they made, and they'd be more than happy to meet the people that enjoy their show. But should they bring back the show? I mean, I think they would have to bring it back to like to answer some questions that we've had, because there's still some questions that I kind of have, because like Kane is an AI made by this studio or company. Yeah, and Kinger was one of the people who worked on it. Maybe we can get like a prequel, something like that. I mean, I don't know, cause like while the show did end, I don't think it has been. There are some parts that haven't been fully resolved. So if they do bring back the show in some way, I feel like they would have to bring it back to establish certain points. So yeah, 3 years, and it's one of the most popular animated series. Only Glitch Productions could do this, and they did. And right after it ended, they have a new project now, a new series called Game Overs. Apparently, it was a series that's been around. Well, it's been in production all the way since like 2009. I'm pretty sure. Let me Google this. Let me see. Yeah, so I might talk about that in the next episode if you'll want, because I watched the pilot. It actually doesn't look too bad, honestly. So let me see. I need like a. Let me see. Oh, okay, I see. So it says here that Game Overs, it's from the Game Overs fandom Wikipedia or whatever. Game Overs is stylized. It is a 2026 reboot of the original 2009 series created by Ross O'Donovan and written by him and Aaron Hansen. The reboot series is animated and produced by Glitch Productions, with music and soundtracks created by Grant Kirkhope and Jake Kaufman. Yo, the Jake Kaufman, he worked on like the DuckTales reboot, like the DuckTales remastered music, as well as Shovel Knight. That's cool, actually. What the hell? So yeah, basically Game Overs, it's about this character named Kit and her sidekick slash backpack Caboodle. So basically their thing right now is that they're trying to like save planets, quote unquote save planets. So it's like a video game universe. So how it works, let's say there's a planet, right? There's a hero and a villain. So the thing is, the hero isn't supposed to defeat the villain, because if they do, then, well, the game is over. Hence, Game Oververse. I said that wrong. But the point is that they're not supposed to fully defeat the villain, because if they do, then their adventure is over, and thus their planet gets deleted or destroyed. Yeah, it's a very interesting twist, honestly. So yeah, let me see real quick. Yeah, here it is. The titular Game Overs is a multiverse that contains an infinite assortment of video game worlds. In this Game Overs, if the hero of a video game world successfully defeats their world's villain and beats the game, their world will be instantaneously annihilated. Once it's game over, there will be no second chances. The series follows Kit, who travels from world to world with their allies, attempting to prevent this destruction by helping each game's villains, while contending against the syntax who assist heroes in order to facilitate their world's annihilation for their own good use. So yeah, you know, it does look very interesting to me. It reminds me of Cartoon Network's OKKO, if you ever watched that. It's kind of like a mix of like video game references and like I guess like anime as well. But um, yeah, it does seem nice. Honestly, I should give it a watch when they start releasing episodes. And when I do, I'll talk about it in the next episode if you guys want. So yeah, that was my thoughts and opinions of the Amazing Digital Circus, the show itself, um, and the last act. You know, it's kind of funny because like right after the movie ended, I was on Instagram and I saw the sneak peek from Fortnite of all things. Yeah, you probably know where this is going. Yeah, apparently the Digital Circus made a collab with Fortnite. And they got Pomni and Jax as Fortnite skins, and like Zooble as a pickaxe. It's kind of funny. Um, yeah, it's been kind of popular. Well, I guess it was popular for like a week. I mean, like Jax looks normal, you know, because he's tall, as like the other characters. Um, Pomni, however, is well in the show, she is supposed to be short. So um to make her accurate to the game, they had to make her taller, and they did that by giving her tall legs, and that's been a thing. Let's just say they had to make her proportionally accurate to the game. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. I mean, I guess this is for people who want some sort of like digital circus, like media. Maybe it's like a way to remember the show. Just play as your favorite character in Fortnite. Then again, it's just Pomni and Jax, but yeah. I mean, if they're your favorite character, that'd be nice. Well, that is the end for this episode. If you guys want me to talk about anything else, let me know in the comments below. So with that, hope you have yourselves a fine day, and I'll catch you later.